The private dining room at Chez Laurent was perfect: soft lighting, fresh orchids, and a custom menu I'd spent weeks planning with the chef. 25 of my mother's closest friends had gathered to celebrate her 65th birthday, a milestone I'd been determined to make special. Before we start, I stood raising my champagne glass. I wanted to say a few words about my mother. The room quieted, everyone turning to watch. Mom sat at the head of the table in the designer dress I'd bought her, diamonds glittering at her throat, also my gift. "For 38 years, you've been the center of my world," I began, my voice steady despite the emotion. "Through Dad's death, through your cancer battle, through every challenge, I've been here. And I always will be." "How touching," Mom murmured, but something in her tone made me pause. I continued anyway. "You taught me that family means everything, that we take care of each other. That love means showing up, day after day, even when it's hard." "Especially when it's hard," added Aunt Beverly, Mom's sister, raising her own glass. "So here's to you, Mom, to many more years off." "Stop." Mom stood abruptly, her chair scraping against the hardwood. "Just stop, Olivia." The room froze. "Mom." She grabbed her champagne, downing it in one gulp before pouring another. "You want to know what I really want for my birthday? The truth?" "Margaret," Aunt Beverly warned, "maybe we should." "No." Mom's voice rose. "I'm 65 years old. I'm tired of pretending." She turned to face me fully. "You want to give me the perfect gift." "Of course," I said quietly, setting down my glass. On her birthday today, my Amon raised her glass and said, "The best gift? You leaving my life." The words hung in the air like shattered crystal. "What?" My voice came out as a whisper. "You heard me." She took another drink. 38 years of you hovering, controlling, suffocating me with your need to be the perfect daughter." "Margaret," several guests gasped. "I'm suffocating you." I couldn't process what was happening. "I pay your mortgage, your medical bills. I moved back home to care for you during chemo. I never asked you to. You just decided, like you decide everything, where I live, what doctors I see, who I can date." "Who you can." I stopped, understanding flooding through me. "This is about Richard." Richard, the man she'd been seeing for 3 months, the one with 2 bankruptcies, a gambling problem, and a habit of dating wealthy widows. "He makes me happy." "He's after your money." "What money?" She laughed bitterly. "Everything's in your name. The house, the accounts. You've made sure I can't make a single decision without your approval." "Because you asked me to. After the cancer, when you were scared." "Well, I'm not scared anymore. I'm trapped." She looked around the table at her stunned friends. "Do you know she has cameras in my house? Monitors my spending. I can't even buy a coffee without her getting an alert." "The cameras are for your safety. The spending alerts are because you don't trust me, because you think I'm a child. Because Richard isn't the first man to try to take advantage of you." The words burst out before I could stop them. "Stuart. Marcus. That investment advisor who almost got you to drain Dad's life insurance. My mistakes to make." She slammed her glass down. "My life to live. God, even tonight, did I ask for this party? This restaurant? These people? These are your friends. These are the friends you approve of, the ones who tell you everything I do." She glared around the table. "Don't think I don't know about your little spy network." Mrs. Patterson shifted uncomfortably. Dr. Williams suddenly found her napkin fascinating. "So yes," Mom continued, her voice rising, "the best gift you could give me? Leave. Get out of my life. Let me breathe. Let me make my own mistakes. Let me date Richard or whoever else I want without you running background checks." "You knew about the background check." "He told me. At least he's honest about who he is. Unlike my daughter, who pretends everything she does is out of love when really it's about control." I stood there, trembling as 25 faces watched my world collapse. "You want me gone?" My voice was deadly calm. "Fine." "Olivia," Aunt Beverly started. "No." I pulled out my phone. Mom's made her wishes clear, in front of witnesses. My fingers moved across the screen with practiced efficiency. "What are you doing?" Mom demanded. "Giving you exactly what you asked for." I hit send on the first email. "That's to the bank." Removing myself from all joint accounts effective immediately. "You can't." Watch me, another email, that's to my lawyer. Transferring the house back to your name alone. Congratulations, you're now responsible for the mortgage. Her face paled. The mortgage. But I can't afford. Not my problem anymore. I pulled out my keys, removing several and dropping them on the table. House keys. Car keys. The Mercedes is in your name anyway, you'll need to handle the payments now. Olivia, stop being dramatic. Dramatic. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. I'm being exactly what you wanted. Gone. So IFROZ our ACCOUNTs changed the Los Hiques and called Emiloguier. I walked out of that restaurant with my head high, leaving behind shocked faces and my mother's sudden silence. The valet brought my car, my actual car, not the Mercedes I'd bought for Mom. And I drove home in a daze. Home. The condo downtown I'd barely lived in for 3 years because I'd been staying at Mom's, making sure she took her medications, ate properly, didn't fall for another scam. My phone exploded before I even reached the highway. Aunt Beverly. Honey, she didn't mean it. She's been drinking. Mrs. Patterson. Your mother is crying. Please come back. Dr. Williams. This isn't like Margaret. Maybe check her medications? I turned off my phone. The next morning, I met with my lawyer, James Morrison, who handled Dad's estate and knew our family situation well. You want to undo everything, he looked concerned. Olivia, your mother isn't equipped to handle her own finances. Apparently, I'm suffocating her with my care. She said that? In front of 25 witnesses at the birthday party I threw her. He winced, still completely cutting her off. I'm not cutting her off. I'm giving her exactly what she asked for. Independence. She wants to give her boyfriend access to her accounts. Not my business anymore. Wants to mortgage the house for his business ventures. Her choice. What about her medical care? I'll keep her on my insurance through year-end. After that, she can apply for coverage like any other adult. We spent 3 hours undoing 3 years of financial protections I'd put in place. Joint accounts became solo. Automatic bill pays from my accounts stopped. Power of attorney revoked. By noon, Margaret Ellis was legally and financially independent. I turned my phone back on to find 47 missed calls. I deleted the voicemails without listening and sent one group text. As requested, I have removed myself from Mom's life. She is now free to make all her own decisions without my interference. Please respect her wishes and mine by not contacting me about her affairs. Then I blocked everyone who'd been at the party. A week later, SHE. The doorbell camera alert came at 2 a.m. I almost ignored it. I'd been getting notifications all week from various flying monkeys Mom had sent to check on me, but something made me look. Mom stood on my doorstep, mascara streaked, holding a small suitcase. I opened the door but didn't invite her in. Yes. He left, she said quietly. Richard. Once the bank accounts were unfrozen and he saw the balance, he left. I'm sorry to hear that. Aren't you going to say I told you so? No. Your relationship choices aren't my business anymore, remember? She flinched. Olivia, I made a mistake. Several, from the sound of it. The mortgage payment is due. I don't know how to access the online banking. You always handled it. YouTube has excellent tutorials. The refrigerator is making a weird noise. Appliance repair companies are in the phone book. I miss my medication refill. Pharmacies are very helpful when you call them. Each response hit her like a physical blow, but I held firm. Can I come in? Just for tonight? No. Olivia, please, I'm your mother. Who publicly humiliated me and told me the best gift I could give was to leave your life. I'm just respecting your wishes. I was drunk, upset about Richard pressuring me. In vino veritas. What? In wine. Truth. You meant every word. The resentment had been building for years, hadn't it? Every time I said no to some boyfriend. Every time I insisted on being present for medical appointments. Every boundary I set to protect you felt like a prison. She sank onto my doorstep. It did feel like prison sometimes. But Olivia, I'm 65 years old. I've been widowed for 10 years. I wanted to feel young again, desired. And I prevented that. You made me feel like a child, like I couldn't be trusted. Could you? I asked pointedly. Richard had access to your accounts for exactly 4 days and drained them. He said it was for investment opportunities. Mom, stop. She started crying then, real tears, not the manipulative kind I'd seen before. I don't know how to do this alone. Then learn, like every other adult. You hate me. I considered that. No. I loved you so much I made my entire life about caring for you. And you threw it in my face in front of everyone who matters to me. That's not hate. That's heartbreak. Let me fix this. You can't. Some things can't be unsaid. I stepped back. There's a Holiday Inn 3 blocks east. They have reasonable rates. Olivia. Goodbye, Mom. I closed the door on her protests, my hands shaking. Through the camera, I watched her sit there for 20 minutes before finally calling an Uber. The calls started again the next morning. Not from Mom, I'd blocked her number, but from everyone else. Aunt Beverly was furious. She's staying in a hotel, your own mother. Her choice, she has a house. That she can't afford without you. Then she should sell it and downsize. How can you be so cold? Ask the 25 people who heard her birthday wish. I'm just making it come true. The flying monkeys kept coming. Friends, relatives, even her pastor. All with the same message. Forgive her, she didn't mean it, family is everything. But I remembered standing in that restaurant pouring my heart out about love and loyalty, only to have her publicly gut me. I remembered 38 years of putting her needs first, only to be called controlling. I remembered every sacrifice dismissed as manipulation. 2 months later, Aunt Beverly called from a number I didn't recognize. Don't hang up. Your mother's in the hospital. My chest tightened. What happened? Stress-induced cardiac event. She's stable, but Olivia, she needs you. No. She needs medical care, which she's receiving. The bills. She's insured through year-end. After that, there are payment plans, financial assistance, options every other person without a caretaking daughter figures out. You're really going to let her lose everything? I'm letting her have everything she wanted, complete independence, total freedom from my suffocating presence. She could die alone. That's the risk of pushing away the people who love you. I hung up. Mom survived. She lost the house, of course, sold it to cover debts Richard had accumulated in her name during their brief access to her accounts. She moved to a senior living community that Aunt Beverly found. Learned to manage her own medications, handle her own finances, make her own decisions. I heard updates occasionally through the grapevine. She joined a book club, started volunteering at the library, was even dating someone new, appropriately, this time someone Aunt Beverly had vetted. She was living her life, without me, exactly as she'd wished. A year after that birthday dinner, a package arrived at my office. No return address, but I recognized the handwriting. Inside was a photo album I'd made for her, pictures of us through the years. Every page was water-stained, like someone had cried over them repeatedly. A note was tucked in the back. I got my wish. I hope someday you'll forgive me for wanting it. All my love, too late. Mom. I put the album in my desk drawer and went back to work. Some wishes, once granted, can't be taken back. Some words, once spoken, can't be unheard. And some gifts, like the gift of absence, are exactly what was asked for, even if they're not what was really wanted. She'd raised her glass and made her birthday wish in front of everyone who mattered. I'd simply blown out the candles for her. After all, what else could a suffocating, controlling daughter do but finally completely let go?